Bernard Tobin here at the Grain Farmers of Ontario March Classic. Very happy to be joined right now by General Rick Hillier, Canada's former Chief of Defence Staff. General Hillier, thanks for taking some time.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks so much. Always glad to be in Southern Ontario, but glad to be with people from the grain industry here. Oh my God, what an incredible group of people.
Now I must warn our listeners, you are a Newfoundlander from Notre Dame Bay, and I'm a Newfoundlander from Kilbride, just outside St. John, so who knows how long this conversation could go. But your message today was on leadership, and frontline leadership, and it's about people. I want to ask you a couple of questions about that in your speech. Starting with, as a leader, you said if you focus on the people who make you successful, you'll be okay.
Well, first of all, I would say that our credo in the Canadian Forces was that we are all leaders. It doesn't matter if you're a leader for yourself in your life, for your family in your life, for your community, if you're a political leader, a military leader, a police leader, we're all leaders. And one of the things I have learned, I believe fervently, and everything I saw proved it, was that as a leader, if you look after, and by looking after I mean if you prepare for success, if you help train, equip, and inspire, and respect, and dedicate your time to recognizing and giving credit to, and helping people learn and grow, the people who are going to make you successful, then you're going to be okay as a leader. And don't lose your focus from that. Don't start thinking about organization or process or all those other things. Yeah, they're important. But if you can inspire people to come and be part of what you're trying to achieve, bring their minds to work with their body, and apply those minds to achieve that great thing you want to do, be part of a real solid team, you're going to be okay as a leader. And I found it was simply like that. Focus on the people who are going to make you, the Canadian Forces in our case, and our great nation successful. You're going to be okay as a leader.
You also said, leaders have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and they should be used proportionally. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm probably a poor example as a Newfoundlander who flip-flop it really. But, you got to listen as a leader. And yes, I spoke a lot. I spoke a lot to people directly across the nation, around the world when I was Chief of Defence Staff, to Canadians at large. But I listened more. And you hear from people of their worries or their concerns, of their ideas, and of their approach to an issue, and maybe as a leader you could learn so much more and therefore help set them up for success in an even better fashion than what you have done so far. Listen more than you talk. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk.
You talked about a 95-5 rule where you really focus on need to focus on the people that get the job done.
Every leader has woken one day and he or she has discovered that they're spending almost all of their time looking after 1 or 2 or 3 people who are dragging the organization down for some reason. And as a consequence of that, you have now abandoned the 95% of the people or more who are making the organization successful. And you got to reset. You give people a chance. You give them that second chance. You mentor them and you give them an opportunity to improve. And if they don't, you cannot afford to abandon those people who are making you successful. So get rid of them and go back to spending most of your time looking after those who make you successful, setting them up for success, and inspiring them. That's where you have to spend your time.
You talked about priorities, and that is, as a leader, setting 3 priorities and protecting them ruthlessly. Can you talk about that?
Well, one of the things that you always got frustrated with, or I did certainly with some of my leaders, is that there appeared to be no prioritization, or that priorities changed frequently, and so all you were doing was operating from a list of things. You could not achieve much. You couldn't find a way to put your shoulder behind that kind of effort because it was so scattered, if you will. If you're going to achieve something, if you're going to do something great in life, you have to know what you're trying to achieve. You have to have a plan for that, and then you can set those 3 priorities and stick to them. That's how you get things done.
Leadership is also about communications, looking people in the eye and really talking to people.
I believe that. I mean, I'm a big believer in the social media and all the other methodologies out there. I think they are complementary. They supplement eye-to-eye communications, looking people in the eye, talking with them, listening to them, and being able to share the problems and establish a relationship. We're long past the superior to the subordinate kinds of relationship. You have to establish a relationship as mature, responsible adults between each other, and the only way you can do that is by dealing with people directly. So yeah, I love the social media. I love all that it offers. It is complementary and supplementary, and you build your credibility as a leader directly with people, and I think that's the important thing to do. Build your credibility at your center of gravity as a leader, and you do that by building the relationship by dealing directly with men and women who either are part of your team now, who could be part of your team, and who want to follow you.
You also said that actions speak really loudly, and that's really a credo you need to follow.
I think that's true. Actions do speak loudly. You know, people can't see words. They can't even see your values. They can't see the things that you write down per se, but they sure can see your actions. And so what I found particularly powerful is if you can line up your values and your mission and your words with the actions that support all of them, you have a powerful recipe for success. But hey, you can't say one thing and do another. You can't say you're going to do something and then not do it. Your credibility will be destroyed and you'll be finished as a leader.
And the final thing, as a Newfoundlander, a sense of humor, and we both have that. You mentioned that, as a leader, you really need to empower and use a sense of humor.
I think that's true. A sense of humor makes good days at work better. It makes it fun. It helps build a team. Makes people enjoy coming to work, and therefore they're inspired to bring their mind. A sense of humor during dark days when things are tough helps people get through it. And even, as I mentioned during the talk, even gallows humor at times, even dark humor sometimes has a place to help alleviate the stress, and people will often laugh more loudly at a poor joke during stressful times because it does give them a chance to let off stress. Humor got us in the Canadian Forces, me as an individual soldier, through many dark days, and I believe in it fundamentally as part of life.
Well, General Hillier, thank you for the time, and thanks for joining us. Great job, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Glad to do it.